Perfect. Yeah. Yeah. So
Okay,
that's what I use.
before we get started, so the conversation with Heather and Emily, in order for them to have more of a heart to heart, um,
Well, so we're trying to do is we got to establish like what's her goal, right? Like what does she want? You want to know what each of the characters want. That any character that you have in your story is going to have a want, right?
yeah, hmm
Jonathan wants a family, right? So
hmm
whatever that came from, he wants the family.
and Emily wants a career right
And
now.
Emily wants what she wants to make her parents happy is technically what she wants, right? Because the whole point of what she's going through is, well, my parents sacrificed everything and they're not here anymore, so I'm not going to let that sacrifice go in vain. That's pretty much what she's saying. That's what she tells Jonathan, right? Like from the very beginning, is like, oh, well, they sacrificed so much for me, like, you know,
So she wants to continue doing what she thinks her parents want for her.
yeah.
I
So,
mean, yeah.
what does Emily want? So, like right now, what I always do on a piece of paper is you got to answer the main question. What does
Okay.
Emily want? What does your main character want, right? So, what does she want? The whole script, your whole idea is what do they want, right?
hmm
So, if use an example of Blood Diamond, one of my favorite movies, right? Leonardo DiCaprio's what does he want? Yeah, he's going after diamonds, but that's not his want isn't the diamond. His want is to get out of Africa. He wants to be free of Africa, free of this so-called father figure that saved him as a child. He wants to get out of Africa and be free, pretty much. So what are the means to getting his goal? He needs to find and sell diamonds. So he broke off, he betrayed people to find diamonds, to sell it, so he could put that money into escaping Africa. So that's his want. Then you get more characters later on, right? More characters develop. So then you get, I think his name is Solomon. Solomon is the black guy from Guardian of the Galaxy, and he's from. So remember they meet up, right? Because this guy found a diamond and he hid it. So now you find out, okay, what is his want? Yeah, he hit a diamond, but what's Solomon's want? He wants his family. That's all he cares about. He wants his family and his son. So by exchanging, like, okay, I'll give you the diamond if you help me with my family. So now we know what his want is. And how does that help the story of the main character, who is Leonardo DiCaprio's character? It's
hmm
he needs a diamond. Solomon has a diamond. I can get you where you need to go. I can get you to your family. And Solomon's like, okay, well, I'll give you the diamond in exchange. So that's how what's pushing the story forward. And then you have
Okay.
the rebels, obstacles are the rebels and stuff. So you have Emily is what is her want, and you have to look at it not just the now, it's the large scheme of the whole like movie. Because you find out later on, right? Leonardo DiCaprio later on says, I want to get out of here. But then they have, TGI, right? This is Africa. Or
hmm
TIA. This is
Oh,
Africa.
the
Yeah,
yeah,
this
yeah.
is Africa. He's like, why the soil's red is because of the blood that we've shed here. So at the end of the movie, with DiCaprio, pretty much being shot, and he's like, you know what? Don't trust this guy. Don't trust this guy. Only talk to her. Do this, and you'll get your family. So he does all this stuff, and then he pretty much, foreshadows like, oh, he grabs a sand
hmm
like, yep, TIA, TIA. So then he knows like, okay, like he's not getting what he
So
wants, but he built up the character development of him, became the selfish guy all the way up until he's looking at like I never had a father, and he talks about his father being killed and his mother being
hmm
raped then killed. Like he talks about it, and then he looks at this guy. He they built respect up, and you can tell he kind of respects him through so you get his character development. So we got to look at what her
so
want is, and then you got to look at what is her character development, especially for a short story. It's
right.
not the plot pushing the story; it's the character pushing the story. Their
So
wants.
initially, when it starts, her obvious goal is to have this role and to become an actress and to further her career. But behind that obvious goal is, okay, that's what her deceased parents helped her work towards, and she's thinking that was their goal for her, so that's what motivates her then,
So if
is
we
what you're
break it
saying.
down,
That's
yeah, exactly.
their want. She's thinking
Mhm.
that's their want, which becomes her want.
Yes. So if we want to break it, remember, whenever you write a script or short stories, you want to break it down into the purest form, which is the simplest form. And to do that is Emily, her want is to please her parents. That's the basic, bare bottom want of her, is to please her parents that passed away. Right? So they're
Okay.
past, and so that's residing in her. It's like, I need to please them. And they sacrificed everything for me to follow my dreams to be an actress. And now I have it's not like the biggest role from the very beginning, right? Because when you find out,
Yeah.
like, oh, I got this role, I'm the secondary actress in it, right? I'm a detective, but I'm the
Right.
secondary one, right? I'm not the main.
Mm-hmm.
So we look at it and we figured out her want is to please her parents. So her goals surround that. And her thinking is, they sacrificed everything for my dream to be an actress. Not even my dream. They sacrificed everything so I can become an actress. So that is what's driving her. Her drive is, I need to be an actress for them. So then you got to look at, what are the obstacles in the way of her want of pleasing her parents. Well, what's standing in the way of that is her being pregnant. That's standing in the way of her becoming an actress. Her husband wanting to have the family, and is now pretty much throughout the whole thing, I don't want to say it's pressuring her, but like the stuff he says is passive aggressive, right? Like, you know, what he says is he has a lot of passive aggressive stuff he is saying in here. So you have that's in the way, right? Heather is
Yes.
not really an obstacle, but remember, her thing is a choice. She has to make a choice. That's what I'm saying. Right now, you don't really have it as a choice per se, because everything she's looking at is pointing to her aborting the baby. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Even Jonathan, there's no repercussions. If she gets rid of the baby, there's no repercussions with him. You know what I mean? So it's like, well, you can still have a baby later on, right? Until what we went to and talked about, and we added, or had you add, is you put in there, your mom couldn't have kids after you. You might have that same thing. So if you abort this kid, you may not have a chance to have another baby again. You know what I mean? Remember, you added that.
Yeah,
So that
that's
was
right. Uh-huh.
that was good, because that helped put an obstacle in the way of like, oh no, if I do get rid of this baby, what if I can't have babies ever again? But I do want to have a family. I do love Jonathan, my husband, and I do want to have kids. But if I
And then, oh, sorry.
No, go ahead, mom. Go ahead.
I was going to say, and then she kind of remembers that was one of her goals too. I mean, maybe
Well,
not
that's why
obvious, but
well, that's where the climax comes in. And the climax is kind of the turning point of the story. It's kind of like the greatest, like, grand moment. And her grand moment is where she's talking to her parents about this decision, and about, like, I just want you guys happy. I want you guys sacrificed so much for me, you know, and like, you guys were the best parents. And that's when she has her flashbacks of like, oh man, you guys are a parent. You guys only did what you thought made me happy. It's not what you guys wanted. You guys didn't want me to be an actress. You guys wanted me to be happy, and by me saying I want to be an actress, you guys supported it so I can be happy. And wow, I want to be able to do that. Right? So since she has these flashbacks of how much she's in love, she remembers her buying the apartment, her falling in love, her this and that, you know, and then you're building all these things. So maybe instead of it all at once for her, a flashback, because I know a lot of shows and a lot of movies have that like montage of a bunch of flashbacks that kind of like, oh, eureka, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so
the
just
eureka
little
moment.
bits
So
here and
maybe if
there.
you have it scattered, because
Uh-huh. Okay.
so if we go through it,
Okay.
I know you're gonna change her the ages again. You know, maybe she's a
Oh,
little bit
that's right.
older. So that's what we kind of countered. Instead of making her the age older, you kind of had it like, hey, you can't have you know, like your mom couldn't have kids after you. Maybe
Okay.
you can't. It could be a little thing.
Yeah.
You can always
Okay.
make them older if you want. It's up to you.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. I think that we should, based on what we discussed before.
yeah. So I'm
Yeah.
thinking Jonathan needs to be a bigger obstacle. I would say. I know he kind of threw it out there, but there's no repercussions if she gets rid of the baby, right? I know
Hmm.
I'm trying to think of like he wants a baby, she doesn't. She's gonna abort it, and he's not really furious. You have one scene of him walking out
He needs
to
to be at his wits' end, I
he
think,
needs
huh?
to, yeah, because this is like
Like,
like what he wants is that's why I said so. We have Emily's one, right? She's one of the main characters. Now we got to do, what does Jonathan want?
mm,
So it's like, what is his want, right?
hmm, Jonathan.
Because he's the next big character. He's
Well, he wants a family.
so yeah. So you got to look at what's his drive. Like he loves Emily and he wants a family. He stated that from the very beginning. When you do the flashbacks, he talks about him wanting kids.
Yeah.
So his want is he wants a family. That's his want. And now that his want is coming, his obstacle is her want, right? Her presumed want, right? So you have Jonathan like, I've always wanted a family, and this is it. So when you start the scene off here, right, you're starting off the inciting incident already, right? There's no,
Hmm.
what was her life before this, right? Because a lot of times in movies they start off with this is the characters, and then inciting incident happen, right?
Yeah.
X.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So a lot of time it's exposition and then inciting incident, right? So you go, this is them. She goes to
Before.
auditions. He does his 9 to 5, right? They come
And
home. They
that
have
might work
dinner.
for like a feature film.
Yeah,
That would be
exactly. But
perfect.
yours is only 26
But
pages.
since it's,
Yeah, exactly.
uh,
It's a short film,
well,
so
and I think
you
that's why
you have to jump right into it
I
because
started it that way. Yeah.
you could waste a minute trying to do that, but the only other way to show it is this is just like you start off right in the heat of things. The problem is we don't know our characters yet enough to side with Emily or Jonathan. All we have is our biased opinion. Do you believe in abortion? Do you not believe in abortion? Those are what we're starting off this whole short film with. Your belief. Because we can't side with Jonathan in the fact that we don't know who he is. We can't side with Emily because we don't know who she is. All we have is, boom, he comes running in excited, has the pregnancy thingy, and he's excited, and she's kind of just like, "Why are you in the trash?"
Hmm.
And so, okay, you know what I mean. So you're starting off right away as like, "Oh wow, she's a bitch." Like you could tell they're married, right?
Hmm.
Like wow,
Hmm.
she's
Yeah.
rude. She's really rude to this guy, her husband. Like, you know what I mean? So you're kind of like, okay,
Hmm.
well, I kind of like Jonathan already.
Yeah.
Emily's kind of being a little,
Selfish, maybe.
yeah, right? Because you don't know her. You
Yeah.
don't know what she's going through. And then as the dialogue continues, it's like, wonderful. How can you say that's wonderful? This is the worst thing that can happen to me right now. I just got a role of a lifetime, right? See, my job, the
Hmm.
role, I've already accepted it, and we start filming soon. I think it's great we're having a baby. My job, the role, I've already accepted it. So maybe she doesn't have to say I've already accepted it, but my job, my role, we're already filming soon, right? She doesn't have to say I've already accepted it. It could just be
Yeah, that's
straight to the
true.
point.
That's pretty
My
word.
job, the
Okay.
role, boom.
Okay.
We start filming soon, right? Cut out. We want to
Okay.
cut out the
Perfect.
fat, right? Cut
Yeah.
out
Yeah.
fat. In a
Yeah.
short film, there's no room for fat. We got to cut that stuff
Yeah.
out, right? We're on the low
Yeah.
carb diet. We can't
Yeah.
have this stuff. We got to get rid of it, right? We don't need this fat. We're trying to cut right now, right? It's cutting season for us.
Yeah.
So then we're gonna look into. He's like, like, I know we didn't plan this. I'm sure they won't care. You won't show for months. So he's talking about stuff he doesn't know yet, right? He doesn't know anything about the film industry. I know we didn't plan for this, and I'm sure they won't care. Again, these are your characters and the way they're talking. My thing, again, is you have them talking in such long form, right? So many sentences, so much, right? Where I think it'd be more like Emily here.
That's irrelevant, like
So,
whether she shows or not. So basically,
well, we
if I
start
cut
filming
that
soon. Maybe it'll be
and then
like,
go into.
let's see, my job, the role. We start filming soon. He
I know
takes
we
his time.
didn't plan this, but I'm sure they won't
So
care.
he's going to be this scene.
And
He'll plead to her, right? He's trying to be the pleading husband, the one like, it's okay. This is wonderful. It doesn't matter if you're it's great. Like they won't care. Like like maybe he would
yeah,
say that. Maybe he's like, I know we didn't plan this. I'm sure they won't care. Maybe he didn't say, I know we didn't plan. Maybe he's like, he'll say, I'm sure they won't care. You won't even be showing for a while, right? Like so. I know we didn't plan, but cut that out because I don't think we need that. I think he just like, I'm sure they won't care, right? He was going to plead about that part. So he's like, I'm sure they won't care. You're not going to show for months. And then she says, but eventually I'll show. Then what?
then what?
Okay. Oh,
You
shoot.
agreed to
Okay.
start a family after my career gets going.
But you're pregnant now. Things change, Em. Okay. Okay.
I
Because
can't risk losing this role.
there'll be other roles. It'll be easy for you. So I don't know if he'll say it'll be easy for you because he's already seen how hard it's been for her to get this role already, right?
Yeah.
So maybe like there'll be other roles. I know you already have easy. It's never been easy for me, and you know that it's taken me time to get this small role.
Okay, so
I think he
he could
just
start it by just saying it's taken me this long to just get this role. So that would work if you got rid of the first sentence. Like,
for me. Oh
yeah,
yeah,
get rid
yeah.
of
I
that.
think it took me long just
Okay.
to get this small role. Yeah, because I'm
Okay.
just trying to look at the like he knows it's not easy, and he's that husband who has been super kind and sweet and providing while she does this stuff, right? As he does his 9 to 5 job. So
Yeah.
I think he'd be more careful with his words, especially in the beginning. He's trying to be nice and pleading. When you need to start showing him lose his temper. I think that's what you're missing from him, or
Okay.
he can start ignoring her. There's got to be his because you
Well,
don't
he does go.
he leaves the room, but that's
there.
it. But that's the last time we see him until he's standing at the door, kind of like not letting her leave. There's no real
Okay.
ultimatum. There's no
That's
real.
true.
He doesn't have a character change. His development. There's no character development. He just stays consistent the whole time. Like sweet, nice. Yeah, he leaves the room a little bit. He changes a little bit, but then he goes back to pleading to her again. So maybe that's what it is. Maybe he goes from being nice right now to being angry to crying before she leaves. Like, don't do this to us. I don't know if I can accept this. Kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, so
Okay.
he definitely, as being a strong character in it, as one of the second main characters, you need to show him. He needs more character development, I think, to show like how much it's
Okay.
affecting him. Because right now he's stagnant. He has no real big changes until he's like, well, I'm gonna be in another room and I'll give you time to think for yourself. So he's still nice. He's like, I'm gonna let you sit here and think about it. I'm gonna sleep on the couch. So it's like he's not really mad. He's just more of like, you need time to think, and he dips, and then that's it. And then he just says, please, Em, don't do this, and he goes back to being kind again. So he's kind of flat character, right? You're only showing him there to be an obstacle when he really needs to be more involved, I think.
Okay.
Maybe he takes a day off from work to
Well,
spend with
yeah,
her.
I did have that. Oh, with her.
Yeah, I think he needs to take a
I
day off from
did.
work, spoil her, take her. Maybe that's why they're at the department store. Like, hey, I'm gonna cook you the best meal. So they go to walk in there and they walk past the baby stuff on purpose, right? Like maybe there's more of that pushy instead of the. But we'll continue. Okay, so that's what I meant.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Because
taking me this long.
she actually goes there
Well,
after her meeting with
it's
Emma,
Heather, but
Heather,
you did that
and she's
because
a
you
little-
want to show her being nice to him. So far, all you have is her being rude, 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 rude to him, right? No, no, no. It's what I want is what I want, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So,
Okay.
but
All
it's
right.
good because now you're going to finally see the other side of her being kind and nice to him and
Mhm.
sweet and
Mhm.
loving because we haven't seen that yet. We haven't
Yeah.
seen that side of her at all. All we've seen is this
At
version
all,
of
huh?
her throughout 26 pages, or obviously until the climax happens,
Yeah.
but we don't
Okay.
see her ever being sweet or kind to him. We've only see her being like
Hmm.
this, right? Until she wakes up in the hospital. But we'll continue. All right. Besides
Okay.
that, okay. It's taking me this long just to get a small room. What I meant was, besides, this role can lead to bigger roles. We can have a baby later. Jonathan, so again, this role, I don't know if we want to use it because remember, her mom couldn't have a kid after her first baby. So, would she say we can have a baby later? You know what I mean? Or will she just did she
Well,
just
no.
forget
I think
until
it's in the
Jonathan
heat
reminds
of
her?
the.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Jonathan grasps her left hand, holds it up where she can see her
To
wedding
give
ring.
him hope, also.
Yeah, of course, of course.
Just like kind of not
Jonathan,
really realizing.
we've been married 6 years. What are we waiting for? I want to have a family. I thought you did too. So I don't know if he would say this part right away because you already know what they're waiting for her acting career, right?
Yeah, that's true.
He's trying to.
Yeah.
I think this scene he just needs to be
Okay.
super sweet, trying to get on her good side, right? Just think of like a breakup,
Hmm.
right? The guy, if the girls break up with the guy's gonna do everything, talk about everything sweet, everything as kind as possible to keep her there, until he gets to the point where he's just pissed off and he's like, "Well, fuck you, I don't need you. You go do whatever you want. I'll have my own life. I'll get all the bitches I want." You know what I mean? Cause it's you have that, and so he's gonna be sweet here.
Hmm.
So what are you
Okay.
waiting for? I thought you wanted to have. So this part can pop up later on. Well, no, I want to have a family. That can stay here, right? So maybe he's like, we've been married 6 years. I want to have a family, you know? So I would say, I want to have a family. I know you want a family, but when the time is right. See, it sounds better.
Well, she says I
Oh,
want
well, no,
a
okay, yeah. So we
family.
could
So
change.
she's kind of answering what you erased. I
Yeah,
want
so
to
you
have
need
a
to change to,
family.
I know you want a family.
Yeah. Well, can you change it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I know
So let's put,
I know you want.
I know you want a family.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
time
here.
is right. Oh, Jessica just,
Yeah.
she must have been, excuse me, she must have been asleep. Emily pulls her hand away. So, oh yeah, she texts me, sorry, at the gym. Oh, good, I'm so glad she's going to the gym. I'm so happy for her.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's been consistent. Yeah, I'm just happy because, yeah, I'm good.
She's been in a lot of pain.
She's a lot of pain and she lost so much weight. So I'm so glad she's going there. Okay.
So
The time is right.
the
Emma
time.
pulls her hand away. It wasn't probably back then when my career meant something to you. You know how important my acting career is. Emily walks out of the kitchen. Jonathan takes a deep breath and follows behind. Continuous, great. Emily sits on the sofa, burying her hands in her face, or her.
Buried her,
I'm dyslexic, so
in her, buried her face
her
in
face
her
in her
hands.
hands. Jonathan sits beside her and faces her. We can work this out, Em. And you know I care. What if you can't? Have you thought about what happened? What happened to your mom? Perfect timing, right? Like he's just being. Now he's being
Yeah.
logic. He's being logic.
Logical, yes.
Emily removes her hands from her face and gazes towards him. Speaking of mom, becoming a successful actress wasn't just my dream. Emily looks at Jonathan. Wasn't she already? Oh, she gazes forward. Okay.
No, she's looking forward.
Emily looks at Jonathan. It was my parents' dream too. They sacrificed a lot for me. They're not here to say it, but I know they wouldn't want me to quit. This baby will. Do you hear yourself, Emily? Calling it a baby without realizing what you're saying? And you're willing to. How can you even consider? Tears well up in her eyes. Look, why don't you call your agent to see what if you can still have the role while you're pregnant? Will you at least do that? Maybe you can do both. Emily nods in agreement. So he's being logical here now. He's tending to her, right? He's being tender right here. He's not pushing it. Like he kind of just said he went right over the whole like, how do you want this? Well, like, do you hear you calling her a baby? You know, but then he kind of goes into realizing what you're saying. Are you willing to? How can you even consider it? So he's kind of, which is, it makes sense, right? Like he still wants to be nice, but then he's like, whoa, like I didn't think you were like that. Like why would you know? So you have, because this is good for his character. His character is coming out in the dialogue. But remember, he's being logical. He's being sweet. So you have that there. And then he goes straight into, okay, how about you call your agent and we can see what we can do about it, right? So then she agrees, you know, and then he looks relieved. Maybe he gives her a kiss or something, right? I think you need to add something sweet here. Looks relieved, you know, and kisses her forehead, right? Because women love being kissed on their forehead. It's nurturing and it's warming and, you know, boom, right? Because you need it tender, right? We don't really see a lot of tender moments between them. And I think that's what's really missing. Now that I went over your script, I think a lot of the stuff that you're trying to look at obstacles in the way, your obstacles are not strong enough, I think. Yeah, it's just not, there's enough, you have a lot of obstacles. They're just not strong enough in the form of like, is it strong enough? Is it really is it really an obstacle? Sorry. Is it really an obstacle in the way of her want to please her parents? The baby is a huge obstacle. But your whole thing is, the want is making her parents happy. The baby is going to prevent her from making making her parents happy. But then she's married, so she wants to make her husband happy. So then you have these wants colliding now. But again, her main want from the very beginning, what you're stating is, this is my parents' dream. This is what they wanted too. So this is what I want. So you have this colliding stuff already there. So now it's kind of like, okay, well, what are the obstacles that stand in the way of the mom? Well, the baby is the biggest thing, right? The baby is the biggest obstacle from what she thinks her parents want. Remember, until she has her little light bulb where she's like, oh, crap, my parents didn't want me being anxious. They just want me happy. And I'm happy when Jonathan's happy. But you don't see that, right? We don't see when she's happy. We have not seen her happy once since this thing has started.
That's true.
So there is no happy moment. There is no, you know. So we'll continue. We'll continue. Cut to moments later. Okay, what time was this? This was day. Okay, so this is morning, right? Jonathan is pouring himself a cup of coffee to go in a go cup, dressed for work, right? Emily is on her phone, holding a cross necklace that dangles from her neck, right?
That's what I wanted. I wanted to bring some significance. I don't know.
To the necklace?
Yeah, because she holds it, but why? You know,
Yeah.
why? I wanted to bring some significance to that. And so I've been thinking about that.
Good, yes, because anything that you show in film has to have the reason. And we already know whenever she gets stressed, she grabs her necklace, right? Anytime she's tense, she grabs it. So the question is why? Well, the cross could be her safe place, right? So that's what she holds on to. So, but again, we don't know that. We just see her grabbing her. Yeah. So we see her grabbing the necklace. So the people already know, like, okay, so she's nervous here. She's holding the necklace. Like, it's comforting her. And we see that throughout the whole thing until whatever. So we're just going to jump right into here, pour himself coffee.
It kind of shows she's a little bit religious, you know?
Well, yeah, it's a cross. Yeah, it's a cross.
Yeah, some sort of...
And you could just be like, maybe it's her parents gave it to her as a gift, right? You know, it's a gift. And so they're dangling from her neck. Bye, honey. Jonathan kisses her cheek and then leaves. Phone rings, goes to voicemail. Emily holds the phone to her. Okay, yeah, she's holding the phone. He kisses her cheek and leaves. The phone rings, goes to voicemail. And she says, hi, Heather, it's Emily. Can you give me a call? I need to talk to you as soon as possible. Thank you. Emily hangs up the phone and begins making herself a cup of tea. I love that. I love tea. Tea is one of those to-go-to things that I see most people.
You know who brought up that was, I think, Rochelle. when she read it, she's like, "Why is she drinking coffee? She's pregnant."
Oh.
You know that,
Oh,
right?
well.
Caffeine.
Oh,
That
oh,
was,
I didn't know that. That's why I was like, oh, coffee and research? Like, let's go, man.
yeah. So
Caffeine?
I'm like,
Let's do
you're
this.
right. I forgot that. Even though tea does have,
Well, green
especially
tea.
herbal
It could
tea,
be,
yeah,
well, was it
like
green
herbal
tea?
tea or
Yeah.
I
There's a
think it
lot of
has
there's a
a
lot of
little bit of caffeine,
decaffeinated green tea. I mean, there's
but
yeah, it
it's
doesn't
tea.
matter. Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah.
now you get the montage. Dinner room. Emily sits at the table with her laptop in front of her and she types on the keyboard. You're going to focus on the screen here. So, okay. I'm trying to think because you don't really want to give direction for
I know. I thought about that.
the director. They have to have
How
their
else
own
would
thing.
you? I guess you don't have to even focus on the screen. You can just focus on. Why don't you take that out?
Instead of putting
Then
focus, just be like on the laptop shows.
yeah. Can you change
The
that?
laptop.
Okay.
You
It
just put
reads.
the laptop
Yeah.
reads, because they'll know that is important. The laptop reads
Yeah.
actors who have become pregnant. She scrolls down and skims through a list of actresses: Nicole Kidman, Catherine Zeta-Jones, Jodie Foster. She stops on the actress Henley Reeves. Emily, she reads out loud. Just before shooting the sequel to Now You See Me, actress Henley Reeves found out she was pregnant. Producers immediately replaced her. Emily frowns and shakes her head. Right? Boom. Great. Interior kitchen day. Emily drinks the last of her tea and begins making more. She sits down at the table in front of her computer and types. She scrolls down the page. Okay, so it's the same thing here, right? So maybe
I'm just trying to have her inform, I guess, the audience.
so
by
this
dialogue.
is it's pointless because
I don't
you
know.
gotta. So whenever I know they say when you write, don't think about production value, yada yada. But remember, every scene that's written has to be accounted for in their budget. So literally, this scene makes no sense. Adding it into another room. Yeah, I know she's done with her coffee or tea, but instead, just be like she frowned, and then just goes, and then you could put on moments later, or just continue the montage. Continue to the next. She scrolls down the page and stops on another article, right? So I would say you don't need. Oh shite! You don't need that. I would just say, if anything, you just go to moments later. She scrolls down the page and stops on at an article stops on another article. Period.
Okay. So
Hunter
she's still in the
Tylo
same
fired from.
spot.
It's the same spot. It's
Okay.
just you're just gonna see like she reads and then
Okay,
it's
it just like cuts off to another like moments later.
yeah. So it's just like okay, she's yeah.
Okay.
She reaches it. Blah 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 blah. She pray continues. 4 actresses at General Hospital were killed off the show after getting pregnant. Emily feels with concern. Interior bedroom. Okay. So now she's pacing back and forth because that whole scene, it's the same thing. You don't want her sitting in, like, it's kind of weird. She's going to be in different rooms on her computer still. Like, you already know. You have your setup. You're going to go do what
Yeah.
you want,
Okay,
go back
no,
to
yeah,
it.
yeah.
So you got to be more, think, like, realistically. I don't think she'd bring her laptop in there while making tea. She'd put her tea to brew and then go back and start doing research. So instead, she's sitting there drinking it. If you want, I think she turned the heater off. Did you turn the heater off? Oh, I was freaking cold then. Jesus Lord.
Put it right by you.
I think,
Well,
yeah,
I
I'm
don't know,
gonna.
maybe she
Well,
needs
we
it.
have a lot of stuff in the way. That's why we haven't cleaned yet.
Oh.
Can you angle a little bit this way? Because I think that I'm freezing over here.
And it oscillates, so.
Yeah. Well, yeah. The way the room's set up is like we're on opposite sides. So it's like.
Oh, so you actually need two of them.
Yeah, we're on opposite sides of that room. So, but like I'm right by the walls, and it's really like the cold penetrates through it.
Oh.
So I'm thinking to show time lapse, you can be like Emily frowns, or she scrolls down the page and stops at an article. Super shows, and then so you do. So now you have a time lapse here, right? So you start off here on the computer. So she makes her tea.
Oh,
So
I
you sit
see.
here, she's drinking her tea. So you can add here, she's drinking tea. Emily sits down at the dining table in front of her. She types on the computer, sipping her hot tea. And then you go down here, and then moments later, she's scrolling down halfway through her tea. And then she continues to scroll down her page. She finishes her tea, and then that's the last part. So now you know she went through a whole cup of tea. Sorry, from hot to cold. Boom, done. That's time, right? It's time.
Yeah,
Flows
yeah,
through it.
yeah.
Or maybe she can have the tea kettle in front of her, a glass tea kettle with it, and then maybe it's empty. Instead of showing her cup, you
Yeah.
can show the kettle being finished,
Oh, okay.
as if she's been there for a long
This is
time.
good. Right.
So you can always do that. You can be like sipping her hot tea with her glass tea kettle
Full.
full, period.
Full, yeah.
Yeah, it could be full, right? So she sat there, and then halfway through her tea kettle, right? And then finishing her tea. Finishing her tea in the tea kettle. Right? So now you have the time lapse of she drank all that whole tea kettle while researching. So without even having to show it, you just see the tea lowering as she's researching, right? So
cool.
if you have a good director, like if we produce this and we just have her sitting there typing, all you do is you see this, she's talking, and then the tea slowly disappears.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Time lapse, right? Simple, easy going, without having to do transitions. It's literally production value is great. You just show tea disappearing. Boom, dunzos. The next part of the montage is her in the bedroom. So let's see what the point of this is, right? Everything needs to have a point. Emily passes it back and forth. She tosses her phone on the bed. The phone shows Jonathan's face with a call button ready to be pressed.
So why is she ready to call him?
I don't recall. So see, that's what I was gonna. That's what I was gonna see. She plops down on the bed, holds.
You remember you gave me that suggestion to have her, but I don't know why.
Wasn't she gonna tell that Heather didn't answer?
Yeah, so maybe she.
No, maybe he's calling. I think he should be calling her because there's something. There's some reason why she's stressed because he wants an update. Remember, he wants an update on. On the so it should be the phone shows Jonathan's face calling.
Okay, maybe that's what it was. Calling.
She plops down on her bed and holds her cross, taking a deep breath. Right, that's her little tick. Moments later, she glances down at the floor and sees her running shoes, and then you cut to her.
Don't show that she ignores the call. Should we say? She
tosses the phone. Well, it says she tosses it, and it sees him ringing. So you take that whole instead of ignoring it, she just throws it because like he didn't answer. And then maybe it'll put Jonathan's face, and then it says, "Phone shows multiple missed calls from John." Sorry, with the gamer keyboard, it's so hard because like any little touch of the keyboard, it presses it. So I have to like, wait, what? So now you see he's been calling, and she's like, I don't have any news for him, and like I did my research, and oh my god, I'm scared. I don't want to. So now she's stressed, right? You see her stressed here. She's like losing her shit. A moments later, it passes. So she's like, okay, cool. Here, boom. Cut to Emily. Emily jogs through the park when she sees a playground with kids on it. Mom 1, tall woman, early 30s, pushes daughter, 5 years old, on the swings. Mom 2, young, early 30s, comfort wear. She comforts her crying. They didn't even give me a... Okay, well, that ended fast. Yeah. It cut off. It didn't even give us a chance to... Okay, then. So she's jogging through the park and she sees mom pushing her daughter on the swings. Mom number 2 is comforting her crying toddler. Then she notices a son who's going down a slide. So my thing here is there's so, for like an actor or for like a director,
Too many
or
things going on.
there's a lot, like you're shoving so much at one time. But I think it looks like a lot just because you have so many parentheses and so many of that, because you have so many characters. So
there's
I would say mom one,
and a dad.
comforting her crying child. There, boom.
And it's all one scene, so it's not like this happens, that happens, that happens. Doesn't
Exactly.
it kind of
Exactly.
happen
So
at the same time?
Emily jogs through the park when she sees a playground with small children. Mom number 1, Talba, is pushing her daughter on the swings. Mom 2 is comforting a crying toddler, and son is going down a slide. You could rephrase this, but okay, yeah. Anyway, son, small who goes down a slide, landing in father's arms. Father embraces son lovingly. Then, so see how I spaced it out? See how it looks not so cluttered anymore?
And I can also do, like, say, kids, it doesn't even matter. Kids are just playing, and,
Well, you already have. She sees a
focus
playground
on one.
with small children playing, and then you cut to mom is pushing daughter on a swing. Then you have mom number 2 is holding her crying daughter, and then you have a son going down the slide into the father's arms, and then Emily gazes thoughtfully at them, and then walks on. Oh wait, walk? I thought she was jogging. So.
Well.
And jogs on.
Okay.
Because playgrounds are pretty big. You can see a playground as you're running, and then you passing by. So. Her leg is hit from behind with a basketball, and it rolls beside her, or baseball, and it rolls beside her. So now you can say, then. So she turns around. Boy, I told you, runs towards her, and then baseballs are pretty hard.
Well, that's why I have it on the back of her leg.
Okay, I was gonna say basketball. Because those don't hurt. Baseballs are small balls that are hard as shit.
The reason I did baseball, read on.
Okay, yeah.
That's why.
She turns around, boy runs towards her, and then stops a short distance away. Sorry about that. Emily's face lights up, and she lights up. Why did her face light up here?
Well, read on.
Okay. Emily's face lights up, and she passes the ball, throws it back with perfect accuracy and speed. Great throw. My dad taught me how. Okay, good. I like that. Boy turns and runs off. Emily continues softly. My dad taught me how. He turned off to play baseball and soccer, and well, he taught me lots of things. So she's saying this to herself?
Yeah.
Okay, I can see that.
Under her breath.
Yeah, no, I can see that.
Thinking about dad. It's just like kind of, family type thing goes along.
I would say, my dad taught me. And then she turns off, and then she goes, he taught me. Yeah, and then here. Because then, like, it's like he leaves in the middle of a sentence, right? Kind of rude for a kid. Like, my dad taught me how.
Distance away. Well, but he is a little distance away, so it could be that he's just excited to get the ball back and runs off,
It could be, but then it's
just, how people just, like.
He's like, great throw. Right, my dad taught me, and then the boy turns off. Right, is that my dad taught me how, and then he turns around like, wow, like.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's like, oh, my dad taught me, and then he turns around, runs off, and then she says,
yeah, thinking it's
how to play baseball, soccer, and well, he taught me lots of things. Lots.
I mean, we could do a.
He taught me lots of things. He taught me lots of things.
I mean, I wanted to do a soccer ball. And then her do a few tricks with it, and kicks it to her, just. I don't know.
That'd be cool because they're showing more. I mean, great accuracy. Throwing is easy.
Yeah, that's how. But I do.
Because a lot of people would do what you said. Like if somebody got a soccer ball to me, I would kick the ball up, toss it a few times with my feet, then get it in my hand, then throw it over.
Yeah, that's what I want.
Like or kick it
should
over.
I do that? Is that better?
It's.
And it won't hurt her as bad. That's more likely to hit her on the leg.
Yeah, because a baseball, like you gotta have perfect freaking aim with the baseball to hit right in the.
That's what I was originally thinking. So maybe we can change that.
Yeah, because
So,
you say, Emily gazes thoughtfully and then jogs on. Let me just. Her leg is hit behind with a. Not with a, but by a. Hit behind by a soccer ball.
yeah, right.
And it rolls beside her. She turns around, boy athlete. Da, 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 da. Sorry about that. Emily's face lines up. So we got to right here.
I didn't know how to say that. Like,
She. I don't know. We'll say she does a few tricks before kicking the ball back.
okay,
Oops, I always forget this period.
great throw.
So that he'll be like, "That's so cool," right? Doesn't a kid say that? Like, "That's so
Yeah.
cool. My dad taught me." So then the boy turns
Turns off.
and runs off. Okay, perfect. He taught me how to play baseball and soccer. I guess we can
Well-
swap these two around real quick.
Soccer.
Play soccer and baseball. And, well, he taught me lots of things. When was this? Was in the park, so now she's on sidewalk. City sidewalk day. Emily walks down the busy street filled with shops and restaurants. She sees a billboard with an advertisement on the side of it of a new movie released. Emily sighs. She holds her cross. Perfect. A moment later, she comes to a
So,
bookstore.
I might have to delete this.
In the
scene.
window
I don't know.
on the poster is the number one best.
Oh, bestseller maybe, huh? Number one.
So, if
I
you
might just get rid of that if she doesn't do it. I don't know.
well, like I said, you can find another quote or make up your own quote and whatever.
Yeah,
You know,
Okay. On the poster is a new number one author, Taylor, holding her poetry, and I just described what I wanted her to do, so I don't forget. I don't
yeah.
know.
So I say, on the poster is the number one new author. I'm just taking the online part off that you don't need.
Oh, okay.
The poster displays.
An author.
It also displays an inspiring quote. So everything underlined is really what you need to focus on.
Okay.
So if you are using Taylor, if
Mhm.
you are going to get Taylor saying something,
Mhm.
then all this doesn't have to be. You can leave it like. Is that highlighted? Yeah. Number one author Taylor holding her poetry book up. The poster displays an inspiring quote. So now all you have to really focus on is what that quote is.
Okay.
That's what's I underlined that because that's what's necessary. So that reads
Okay.
something like Oprah's the biggest adventure you can take is to live the life of your dreams. If not, then you can try to write your own quote, something based off something like that, right?
Okay. Mhm.
So yeah, and then Emily straightens up, takes a
Okay,
deep breath. She
that's
presses
good.
her fingers tightly into her cross, fade out. So now she's in her bedroom, night, end of montage. So now there's no more montage, right? Which montages are usually short, small, short clips. These are kind of like the park one is super long to be a montage.
Mhm.
That's the only thing, because montages, you know, when you watch a montage, they're really short, quick, like boop, little bit of information that you need,
Yeah.
really short, right? Boom, boom. Though my only thing is that, like I said, this montage is great because you can show time passing. Excuse me, time passing here, right? Bedroom, she's pacing, like oh my god, like shoes, boom, pat, boom, montage. She sees that, you get a little information.
Should
She's
the
ignoring the
montage
call.
end there then?
I would say
And then-
probably. I would probably end the montage
Okay.
on the bedroom scene where her stressed, because then you're going into an actual whole entire
Scene.
yeah. So I would do
Okay.
end
End montage.
montage here
Okay.
because like you said, or like I was trying to say, is that it's a lot of you're getting into a lot of scenes now. Because, like, even the sidewalk scene, yeah, it's kind of a montage. It's really short, straight to the point and stuff, you know. But maybe she stops and has a cup of coffee or something. Maybe she stops there. Or maybe she goes into the bookstore and Taylor Packel's doing a signing. Or, you know what I mean? Like, you could always, if it's important. Again,
Yeah.
The main scene, the main importance of this scene is the quote right here,
Mm-hmm.
right? The
Right.
main scene is seeing, like, go after your dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Besides that, the only other important information is seeing the movie and being sad because she's like, oh, I want to be the big movie star. And this baby's going to get in the way. You know what I mean? So, like, you have these things. So, the important part of, okay, now we're looking at obstacles of this. So, now you got the obstacles of her keeping the baby. It's all this here, right? Oh my God, if I have a baby, I'm not going to be able to, excuse me, I'm not going to be able to keep this baby because they literally killed off all these people from this TV show because they were pregnant. And they didn't even let her come back to the second movie of her. Do you know what I mean? So these are obstacles of, like, hey, my want is to please my parents, but by pleasing my parents is to become a big actress for what she thinks. So then you're getting all these, like, oh my God, I can't do it because I can't get my dream. Oh my God, I can't do this, can't get my dream. So these are big obstacles. This is great, right? Perfect. Mm-hmm. Huge obstacles. Then you get to the montage of her seeing kids. And you're like, oh, okay. And then you get to, what is the whole point of this scene is right here. Mm-hmm. My dad taught me all this, you know. Kind of like, oh man, like I missed that. Like, oh, he's like a role model to me. He taught me everything I knew, you know. So it's like, good, perfect. Then you go back to this. Boom. Oh man, like I want to be an actress and I want to follow my dreams. Perfect. Great opposite. More obstacles in her way. Now she's in the bedroom. Okay, so let's jump right into this because who knows what time we have again. Emily sits in bed, resting her back against the headboard. She's looking at her laptop again. Okay, got it. She's looking at her laptop. Jonathan opens a drawer and pulls out sweats and a t-shirt. What are you reading? I'm researching. Okay, so she already did research, but let's see what this is. I'm researching. It looks like famous actresses don't really need to worry about when they get pregnant. They can afford to say no to the role. I think producers are more willing to work with them too. But struggling actors like me, we need the job, and if we want a baby, well, we're forced to quit. So that's perfect, right? She summarized exactly what she's researching, and now you have the other side of starting actresses or actresses, they get rid of them, but if they're already known, they still want to work with them because why? They're bringing their name to the table, and those names always bring people to the movies, right? Like right now, if you put The Rock in a movie, you're guaranteed to get that movie to blow up because The Rock's in it right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, Chris Evans as Captain America, people know him. People go to his because he was Captain America. He has established name now, right? Robert Downey Jr., all the people with big names, right? Back when Harrison Ford was big, he still is, but when he was bigger, with because these new generations only know him in Star Wars as, you know, the guy who died in the first new trilogy. So it's kind of like, okay. Okay, so here we go. Emily's phone rings. She looks at who's calling, and it's Heather. So you know the whole day she didn't get back to know. Emily. She answers it. Hi, Heather. You'll never guess what happened. The lead actress was injured in a skiing accident. Don't worry, she's okay, but she can't take the role. They're offering it to you, Emily. The lead role. And then Emily goes, she was injured? And then she's like, yes. This is a great opportunity for you, Emily. You need to come in to see me first thing Monday morning. What do you need to talk to? Oh, okay. So pretty much she just gave her all this information dump. Like, forget what you said. Now she's like, that's like, what do you need to talk to me about? And she said, I'll just talk to you Monday morning. Emily keeps the phone to her ear even after Heather hangs up. So I would say, I mean, there's no goodbye, but like every TV show, they never hit goodbye. Oh. I mean, maybe Heather could say, okay, sounds great, okay. Right? Like, so we can do like Heather, like, off screen. Or she can just say, right? So so by Heather talking here, I'm seeing her as like a caffeine fueled person, right? Who just talks, right? So she's like, see you then. Heather hangs up. Heather keeps her phone up to you after she hangs up. Her face contorts as she looks at it's like, who was injured? Emily lowers the phone. The lead actress was in an accident. She's okay, but she gave the she has to give up the role. Why didn't you mention the pregnancy? That was the whole reason you called her. Because they offered me the lead role. The lead role. I think that's great, but can't you wait until Monday to call? Or you can't wait until Monday to call. But you can't wait until Monday because she's not calling. She's going in person, right? You can't wait till Monday. You need to call her back now. I already know the answer. How? They'll recast my role. I just know it. They won't want to hassle with hiding a pregnancy, the time, the cost, and they can't write it into the script. There's no possible way my character can be pregnant. Not this soon in a new series. He glares at Emily. Come on, she's an LAPD cop chasing the bad guys around. She's intimidating and fit. She runs around. She does fighting scenes. I can't play this part and be pregnant. They won't allow it. Ask her to make sure before you do something you'll regret for the rest of your life. I'll risk losing this role. It sounds like you've already decided to get rid of our baby. Who said it's a baby yet anyways? Okay, I guess she'd say that. You did research on acting, but did you do research on pregnancy? I did. You must be, what, at least 5 weeks by now? Our baby's heart is already beating. Emily frowns and shakes her head. So she's sitting down in the bed and he's what? He sat down next to her?
Well, he was getting dressed, remember?
Yeah, but she stayed in bed, right? She was still in bed? Because you had her sitting down. Standing. Yeah, so he's standing, she's sitting there. Okay.
He's sitting, like, talking to her. There's a distance between them.
Well, he never sat down from what I saw here, right?
No.
So he's still standing up. No. I'm just double checking because he's just staring at her standing up. So.
Yes. And so the part about what you said, it sounds like you've given it. Who says it's a baby anyway? I don't know what other response, because that's something.
You decided to get rid of our baby. I think she'd just be like, who says it's a baby? Why don't you just put, so? Right? Quick, short. She's just, like, the you can see that everything's escalating right here. So it's like, so you've already did it. So you did research on acting, but did you research on pregnancy? I did. You must be what, at least 5 weeks pregnant, or 5 weeks by now. Okay. Our baby's heart is already beating. Emily frowns. If I have it, my career is over.
I'll change the baby to it.
Yeah, that's what I like. Yeah, if I have it, my career is over. It will take all my time. I'd have to stay home, stop working. I'll stay home while you work. I'll work at home or quit my job so I can take care of our baby. Or of the baby. I'll still have to give up the role to have it, regardless who stays home. Emily, this is my child too, and I have a right to say what happens. Emily looks away and stares at her screen. Jonathan glares at her while he grabs his pillow and blanket. You take tonight and really think hard about what you're considering. Jonathan walks out of the room, closing the door behind her. Okay, so I like how it escalated. You still haven't seen him get super upset, I would say, because like you see the tension finally build. You see the tension building here, huh? You don't what?
Yeah, I was gonna say, at the point now, this is in the future after they have dinner and he overhears her. Maybe he does confront her at that point in time.
Okay, yeah, because it's already.
We'll see, but
for here,
good point.
For right here, you can already see it's kind of escalating. The way he's kind of talking back now, I'd say. Mm-hmm. So you already see the like whole suite now is rising, right? Which is perfect. Mm-hmm. So, but then the thing is that it's great because now. Okay, well let's just continue.
Now Heather's office.
So interior Heather's office. So you know it's Monday now. Emily stands in front of the desk where Heather, dressed professional, straight to the point type, and a little rough around the edges, in her 50s, sits with the phone up to her ear. Emily sits in the chair in front of her desk. Oh, Emily stands in front of her desk. So now she's sitting. Okay.
Emily sits. Yeah. She sits in a chair.
Yes, I'll see you this afternoon. Heather hangs up the phone and smiles at Emily. It's good to see you, Emily. Are you ready for the role of a lifetime? Well, yes, of course. I was shocked to hear about Jenny. I hope she'll be okay. Emily hands her a stack of papers stapled together. She'll be just fine. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Does it need one more period?
No, no, it's always 3 periods. It's always 3 periods. But I was just saying it looked weird because I was
Oh, a
like, why is there
space
such a big
between.
gap here? But she'll be just
Oh,
fine.
because
Yeah, because of the
if you put a
periods.
space after the
Here, it'll
dot,
yeah.
yeah.
But I'll just leave it like this for now. She'll be just fine. Here, information on your new character. Take it home and memorize your new lines. You start shooting in a few
Because
weeks.
look at the top one. Wait, the one above it where it
Here?
says yes, of course.
Yeah.
There is a space.
Yeah, I was just doing that
Maybe
because
there's
then it's
supposed to be. I don't
yeah.
know.
We'll leave it like that.
I'm not sure.
We'll
but
start shooting in a few weeks. Thank you for your help. Heather, what does Jonathan think? Is he excited for you? He'll have to get used to you working a lot more now. Can he handle that? Oh yeah, he knows how important this is to me. I've been waiting years for a break like this. Great. It's always better to have their support. Emily half smiles. Is everything okay? Are you up for taking this role? Yes, well, Yes, I'm definitely ready. This is a great opportunity for me. I'm definitely ready, so let's take that out. Yes, I'm definitely ready, right? Boom, confidence now. See, I think this character is perfect for you. You're going to do great. I think we need Heather to be more caffeinated, fueled. More, because while Emily's like hesitant here, I think Heather needs to. Okay, you know what? I don't know, because like I'm saying, Heather, their dialogue seems to be just flat per se. I mean, I know Heather. I mean, Emily has like these cuts and these like pauses and stuff. Heather is more just talk, 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 talk. You know what I mean? Like that's how she was here. But then when you go into the next scene, she's kind of just like, yeah, information fueled, da da da, information fueled. That's great. Always have to better their support. Maybe she can go into something else like. Okay, well it's fine right now. We'll see. We'll see. Is everything great? Is his role? Yes. Well, are you up for taking this role? Right, because now you have to remember she wanted to talk to her too. She's like, you need to tell me something, right? Yes, well, yes, I'm
I
definitely
think she
ready.
does that later, right?
No, because right here is where she says, I have to tell you something. Remember? But I think Heather, to me, when you first had it, is that she kept talking on, right? She's just fuel. She's like, go, 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 go,
Yes.
go.
Yes.
But when you get her here, she kind of loses some of that. She loses some of her character here, which I'm trying to make you, because I know like your dialogue here is just pushing information out, right? Like all dialogue.
Yeah.
But I want it to be sound more natural, right? More of Heather talking as Heather, right? Talk, information dump, like she's caffeinated, fueled, right? So it's like, it's great. It's always better to have their support. Trust me. Right? She's like, oh, it's like, yeah, is everything okay? Are you? Let's see.
You are up. You need. Oh.
You needed to tell me something, right? Yeah. So I put, you need to tell me something, right? She's like, yes, well, yes, I'm definitely ready. So then she can just be like, yeah, I'm definitely ready. She's like, I think this character is perfect for you. You're going to do great. You know, she's like, you know, like she needs to start like, maybe not.
Putting like doubts in her mind that she might not be.
Well, no, she's like, yes, well, yeah, I'm definitely ready. She's like, I think this character is perfect for you. You're going to do great. I've seen many clients break under the pressure, but I don't know. I'm trying to think of what, because Heather just has to talk a lot. That's who she is, you know? And you kind of lost that here.
Yeah.
You lost her character here.
Okay, but
You're great. I've seen many
you seem
clients
like a
break under the
natural,
pressure.
or you just.
But you're a natural. But you're a natural. Perfect. You know, I like that. But you're not. She half smiles, stands up, and walks to the door. She kind of cuts her off, just stands up and leaves. So that this right here is kind of weird because it's like,
Oh.
why would she just get up and leave? Because you just had it like, oh yeah, okay. And it's just like,
Yeah.
so I think Heather's, but you're a natural.
I'm out of here.
Yeah. Was there anything else you needed?
Oh wait, didn't she ask her back up?
I
there?
took it off. I
Like,
took it
"Did
off.
You need to talk to me.
No, I took it out.
Oh, okay.
I
Okay.
it's, I know
Did
these
she
are
ask
short.
Get down here.
Yeah, I took out because she's like, is everything okay? Are you up for this role? I took out the next part. No, because right here it says Heather. She's like, actually, Heather, I do have to tell you something. So
Yeah, after she goes to the door. But
we'll get rid of the
up
door.
here?
So we'll have. No, I took it out.
Oh.
I took out this thing. She's like,
Oh,
yeah, I've
so
been
you-
waiting.
Okay, so you think we should just have it there?
Yeah, so she's like, is everything okay? Are you up for taking this role? Yeah, I'm definitely ready. She's like, okay, but you're a natural. Is there anything you needed? And she holds her necklace.
Okay.
She holds her necklace. She's still sitting down, remember, here. So she holds her necklace. She says, actually, Heather, I have to tell you something. Emily, we'll just put here. Excuse me.
Heather tilts her head. Okay.
I'm pregnant. We'll just see. I'm pregnant. Heather is stunned, but for a moment. And then maybe she can...
Gather herself up and.
Right, because she's used to this, right? So she's
Smiles.
stunned. She's like, oh, and then she...
S
That's-
at the end of
Yeah.
smile.
And then smiles, right? Because she's like, that's no problem.
Yeah.
I have a guy who can take care of this discreetly and quickly if that's what you want. Best thing is, you'll be fully recovered by the time you start filming. Right? Like, boop. Like Heather. I got the
Done.
solution for everything. She's like, oh,
Yeah.
you do? Don't worry about... don't worry. Things like this happen. But it doesn't have to get in the way. It is what you want, right? Or are you considering, well, I'm not sure because the alternative, well, let's just say you're risking, no. Just let me know when you set it up. Perfect. Emily nods and then leaves. Done. Perfect. I think that's great. Right? It's Heather's going to get into more, but Emily's like, no. Like, because remember, her want is to please her parents. The baby stands in the way of that.
Alternative, you're risking.
Yep, and then as soon as she hears you're risking, she's like, oh, no. Just let me know when it's set up. And then she's like, perfect. And then Emily stands up and leaves. She nods and leaves. Perfect. Great. Done. Straight to the point. There's no fat in there. Everything that's needed is in there, right? And everything's natural, right? Everything's naturally what an agent would tell her clients, right? That's natural. Yeah. Emily acting the way she is, kind of like hesitant a lot. Perfect. That's exactly how she is. All right. Now you cut to interior store day. Emily holds her phone to her ear as she's walking aimlessly through the hey, I'm out running some errands, but I should be home soon. I just want to let you know I spoke to Heather today, and I'll tell you about it tonight over a home-cooked dinner. It's your favorite. Right? So now you're going to see the sweet side of her. Right? We need to see her being nice. So far, we've seen her just like, man, fuck you, Jonathan. This is what I want. Like that's all we've seen so far. It's just there's. It's like, how are you in a marriage? Like we haven't seen that sweet stuff yet. So
yeah.
Now we're gonna jump into that part. So Emily holds her phone to her ear. As she walks aimlessly through the floor. So hey, I'm not running errands, but I should be home soon. I just want to let you know I spoke to Heather today. I'll tell you about it I'll tell you about it tonight over a home-cooked dinner. It's your favorite. She hangs up the phone. She looks up and notices she's in the baby department, standing in front of her crib. She gazes at it for a moment before continuing walking down the aisle. She stops and looks at the baby bottles on a shelf. Geez, there's so many kinds. How do you choose? She notices the baby items, blankets, bibs, onesies, nail clippers, pacifier, rattle, etc. That's a lot. I would just do baby blankets, bibs, onesies, etc. Right?
Okay.
There's no reason to have so many things in there because
That was just for my information. I was going to double check and go to the store and see which sections have like certain things.
No, usually the baby aisle has diapers on one side, and on the other side are the toys and stuff. So she knows the baby aisle, blankets, bibs, onesies, etc. She picks up a onesie and holds it up. It's so small, so cute. She puts it down and continues walking until she sees a section with books. She picks up a book that says baby names and opens it. Aaron, Adam. I think you need to stick with the A's unless she flips pages. But Daniel, How about the girls? Let's see. How about the girls? She wouldn't say let's see. How about the girls? Addison, Adeline, Angelica. That's a beautiful name. Stacy, pregnant mom, about 6 months along, in her 20s. A lot of 20-year-olds having babies. No makeup, dressed in leggings, flip-flops, maternity
You could
shirt.
change the age.
No,
Maybe
it's
well,
doesn't matter.
I think
Because you
we
said
had it
in her
really
20s, so
young.
it could be anything. Pushes a stroller with Amber, a 2-year-old in it. So then you have Stacy. It's like, that's the hardest part of having a baby, settling on a name. Well, the morning sickness, back pains, cravings, and the labor were pretty difficult, you know. And then, but a name that's so important, something they'll take with them their entire lives. Stacy looks at her belly. She's like, "Are you having a boy or a girl?" He's a boy. We found out when I was 10 weeks pregnant. I don't know if was that natural? Would they say, "Oh, we found out when I was 10 weeks pregnant"?
We can say
Because
we just
naturally,
found out.
yeah, naturally, I think it's like,
Oh no, she's not 10 weeks. Because she's showing.
well, yeah, because you said, "Oh, he's a boy," but you said, "I found out when I was about 10 weeks pregnant." That I don't think that's something natural. That they say when she's like, "He's a
Yeah,
boy.
you don't have to
We
have
just found out."
Yeah.
Right? Isn't that something they'd say? Like,
Yeah. We just found out. Yeah.
we just found out? Really?
Or we're excited, or, to have a boy and a girl. We're
It's
excited
like,
because we already have a
he's
girl.
a boy. We just found out. And then Emily's like, see, but then this
that's
doesn't
fine.
make sense here, right? You can find out so soon. So she's like, he's a boy. He's a boy.
Yeah.
We just found out. And then she'd say,
Oh. Okay.
right? Congrats. She's like, let's see, how could we dive into the next part?
You can have Stacy say something about the ultrasound. It was amazing. Like,
Congrats.
I got to see him with we had an ultrasound done or whatever, and back where it says he's a boy, we just found out.
She's like, thank you. It's amazing. It's always wanted. Oops, I spelled that wrong, of course.
So thank you. It's amazing having a boy.
Thank you. It's amazing having a boy and a girl. It's what we've always wanted, right? So now you have more of what her wants
So you
are,
should
right?
have a comma after amazing, maybe. It's amazing.
It's
having
amazing.
A boy and a girl, making it one sentence.
Yeah, it's your. I'm just trying to throw things in there real quick for you. Try to make it sound natural.
Better to do it now. It's
Thank you. It's amazing having a boy and girl. It's what we've always wanted. And nowadays,
Okay.
they have 3D and even 4D ultrasounds. We can see what our baby looks like in the womb. Did they already get to see the baby already? So it's amazing we have it. Nowadays they have a 3D and 4D printer.
So we got to see our baby in the womb.
3D.
We got to see him in the womb.
So you want to change this
Yeah,
part
because
here?
that's how they find out, is through the ultrasound. Right, Taylor?
We get
You
to
find
see
out
what
the sex of the baby through an
how our baby
ultrasound?
looks like in the womb.
What about at 10 weeks? Huh? Oh. Is that how you would have done it? Okay.
Well, this part's okay because we don't. She's just saying we get to see what our baby looks like in the womb, so she doesn't have to say yet, right? She's just saying, yeah, man, they have these printers now, or they have these ultrasounds now, or like we're gonna see our baby in the womb. She's like, wow, I had no idea. Do you have a name yet? We haven't decided on a name yet. We can never agree when it comes to names. We didn't come up with Amber. Young mother looks at her daughter until the day after she was born. Are you looking for names for yourself? Are you gonna have for me? Oh, I was just curious. My husband so lovely. This thing keep on ending. I said so lovely. I think the Zoom ended. Unless we like. All right, so our stream got cut off. So I'll probably be ending it right now. I appreciate everybody who came in, who's tuned in and watched and commented and messaged on here. I appreciate it. If you guys like this video, you like the way everything was going on here, don't forget to just send me a message below, or send me a message just period. And I will, let's try to get, I want to provide these type of services. This is what I want to do. I want to build up my writing. I want to build up all of this because this is my passion, and I want to help everyone to bring their story to life. So, if you want, and if you can, I am on Fiverr. I'm on Etsy, so you can find me on there if you want me to write your story for you, if you want me to edit for you, and if not, super cool. If you just want to learn, you can always go to the YouTube channel here, watch all the videos. I'm going to be posting some newer ones coming up. I know I've been trying to get more up, but I do have a lot of other projects I'm working on, like short films, podcasts, ebooks, kids books, other types of books that I'll be putting on Amazon. So I got a lot of projects going on here. And I know I see you said here that you are struggling with editing your first story. So come on by. You can watch this video again. I kind of go over the main ideas of how to edit, at least the script wise, how you want to cut out the fat, make sure there's stuff in there that you actually want going forward, right? Don't throw in unnecessary information that's not useful. We went over the necklace, right? So we have the necklace that's in there, and when you have this necklace, the necklace or anything you show on film has to have a reason for it there. So we went back and we decided that we are going to use that necklace as the mother's dying gift to her, as an heirloom that was passed down from generation to generation, and that's going to be something that she uses also to help her push back from wanting to do the abortion to not doing the abortion. And again, you guys can reach me at creativewritinglessons.vdm@gmail.com. Let me know. I have Venmo, other stuff then, and we can just work out that way if you do not want to go through Etsy or Fiverr. I'll throw it in the chat right now so you guys can have it. This is my writing one. Creative Writing Lessons.vdm@gmail.com. Creative writing. All right, make sure that's right. I don't want to put the wrong one in there. Again, Fiverr, Etsy, you can find me. That's my email. Write it down. You can always DM me, send me a message on social medias. It's out there as Creative Writing Lessons on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. It's JK Vandermark for Twitch. If you guys want to hop over to Twitch, I have that going on as well. I'm just trying to reach out to the masses to help everyone bring their story to life. I want you to get it from your brain onto, paper, as it said, but on the screen, so you can do whatever you want with the story, and then once you get one story, you're going to have another one, or a sequel, or a prequel, and it's just going to keep growing. I also have a kids book on Amazon, so if you have a kids, you can hop on that. It's going to be a 4-book series. This month I will be releasing book 2 of that series. It'll be called The Eye of the Universe. The first book is called The Crystal of Destiny. You can just look it up by my name, Justin Vandermark, on Amazon. So again, thank you for watching the stream. I love reaching out and being live and helping everybody with the knowledge I've learned from schooling, from listening to publishers, agents, producers for scripts and stuff, hearing their feedback and going forward. Love you guys 3000. I'll see you guys on my next stream, and don't be afraid to reach out. Bye, guys.